Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Prince Edward from Enchanted to go with my Giselle from Enchanted. We're going to make what you see here, but I am going to try and get the belt a little more even for you in this tutorial. For this pattern you're going to need purple or maroon, gold or yellow. You'll need 3 to 4 pieces for if you're doing the sword. Black for the hair, blue beads, or blue bands for the eyes, and I am going to make this with blue bands this time to show you. You'll want some white, skin tone, 1 or 2 hooks, and your loom in the offset configuration. We're going to start by making the puffy parts of the arms. This is sort of the longest, hardest part, but I will make both with you. We're going to take 2 bands and twist them over our hook 2 times. Pull this onto 5 sets of double purple bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And from here we're going to go on to adopt a technique from DIY Mummy's channel, and we're going to be making a round kind of tubular piece. So you're going to take 2 of these bands and place them on the top center peg and 2 on the 3rd peg down in the center, and just reach it around that middle piece. Now we're going to use this as our base layer. So you'll take 1 of the 2 bands off of the 3rd piece and bring it onto the 2nd side piece and the 1st side piece. And go to your top peg, take 1 of these bands off carefully, and bring that across the 1st and the 2nd pegs on the side. And you can just sort of press your arm down, and you can see each of these pegs going in that circle is now covered. That was our first row, and from here we're going to do this a little more traditionally. We're going to take a single purple, bring it from the top center to the top side. Take a white and come down once on the side. Back to purple, coming from the 2nd side to the 3rd in the center, and we're going to continue going all the way around until we've reached that first one again. This is our 2nd row. Now we're going to look for the bottom band. We're going to go on the side and pull this up and over into the middle. I promise we'll go a little faster as I get moving, but I want to be really clear on this. You're going to go to the top of your loom, find the bottom purple attached to your arm, bring it up and over. Go around, find your next bottom purple, which is the lower one on your side. Bring that up and over those 2 pegs. And finally get your last underwards purple and bring it up and over. We push all of these down a little bit, and we're going to do 1 more row just like that first one, and then we will expand. So a purple, a white, a purple, a white, a purple, and 1 last white. And this time we're looking for the 2 bottom bands. So if we look at this bottom side peg, we have a white and a purple sitting under our top white and purple. We're going to carefully pull those over. On this next one at the top, we have a bottom white, a bottom purple. Pull them over. And we're going to go all the way around and look for the bottom 2 only. Oops. You can see that's coming off, so that means I grabbed the wrong one. Now we're gonna make this a little bit larger, and if you have any really loose pieces, what we can do is, well, we'll leave it for now, but we can stitch them in and tighten them up a little bit later once this is off the loom. We're gonna go to the bands on the third center peg. Sorry, and carefully take those off and put them on the fourth peg on the center. So hold on to them, bring them around and over. You're gonna lift up the two that are on your second side peg, and the bottom one, which is the white, is gonna come to the third peg on the side. So just hold on to that purple for a minute. Stretch your white down and across, and put your purple back. On the other side, we're going to take both of these off. We're going to take the white and put it onto the third peg, and we'll replace the purple where it was sitting. So I'm just holding onto that purple band. You can put it on a separate hook if that's easier. And now we are covering 8 pegs going around. We're going to follow the same pattern we did before with the purple, white, starting at the top, except now we're covering more pegs. So push that previous layer down. This is our third row. And we are going to have a total of 6. And here we're going once more to find, well, any bottom bands such that you're left with 2 sitting on the peg. So there was only one on the side one. There's only one on this peg. Remember, we're leaving the top 2. On this peg we have a white and a purple sitting underneath, and they can go over. 2 on the top peg to go over. 2 on the other side at the top, and 1 on your right side, and 1 on your right side. We'll push that down, and we're going to repeat that. And we're doing this a total of 2 more times. So each of these pegs has 4 bands on it. We're taking the bottom 2 and pulling them up and over. And you can go all the way around. Doesn't matter which order you're looping up this time, but just be sure that you catch them all. And that you're getting the right ones, otherwise it's going to look a little wonky. We need 1 more of these rows, and then we can take this off. Purple, white, alternate them all the way around again. And scoop out the bottom 2, bring them up and over. All the way around. Take your time, pause the video if you need to. And now we are done our sleeve. We need to collect it on our hook. And I'm actually going to put this on, well, we'll leave it on this hook and then we'll transfer it after. You're going to put your hook through the bottom ones, hold on, grab those 2 bands, go through the next one and take those off. And we go all the way around in a circle. Just hold them down as you go, don't let them slip off before you're ready to grab them. Pop it out. You can see I have a loose band or 2, and that can be tidied up a little after. I'll show you how. Take 2 bands, slide them through. Oh boy, let's hope we can catch those again. It's one of the worst things that can happen on this kind of a project. But I'm going to grab half with this side with one hook, half with the other to keep it from getting too loose. And we'll try to salvage this. So let's bring this through the ones on this side. And you might want to do as I'm doing here now, pull a couple over at a time. And we go through the other side, through the rest of them. I was worried I would have to redo that part there. Wouldn't have been good. When you have it on your 2 bands, just hold on to it, put it on the side, put it on a holding hook. And like I said, we'll tighten this up a little bit after. Let's make our second arm, and then we'll proceed from there. So we'll go faster this time. You've seen it once in sort of slow motion, and now we're going to speed it up a bit. 2 single skin tone bands wrapped twice, pulled onto 5 sets of double purple. Stretch the bands which are on your hook from the top center peg to the 3rd peg down in the center. And we're going to expand these out, so take one of your bands and bring them across the 2 pegs on one side. Take one of your bands from the top peg, stretch it across the 2 bands on your other side, and push this down a little bit. We do our first circle around, which was purple, white, purple, all the way around those first 6 pegs. And we pull our bottom band over, single band this time. Basically, all of the bottom purples are coming to the middle. Push these down a little bit, and we do our second row, purples and whites again. The same layout, the same configuration we just used. And the reason that we're alternating the purples and the whites is to get kind of this striped effect happening. It isn't super precise, but it gives a bit of that feel of the alternating colors. Okay, take your bottom 2 on each one and bring it over. You want there to be 2 bands remaining on each of your pegs. Push it down. Take your bands from the 3rd peg and bring them to the 4th peg on the side. I'm actually going to bring this over this way. Take your 2 pegs off from the 2nd peg. You'll hold on to that top purple. Bring your white onto the 3rd peg down on the side and replace your purple on the 2nd. Repeat that on your left side. Grab the purple, bring the white out from underneath and bring it to the 3rd peg down, and replace your other one. Push these down and we do another little circuit around. Starting purple from the top. So this was our 3rd row. This is our 3rd row that we are on now. We're going to take the bottom bands off such that there are 2 bands remaining on each of our pegs. So for the 2nd and 3rd on either side, you're going to have 1 bottom peg to bring over. And all of the others should have 2. And 2 more rows just like that. We'll do those again. I promise this is the hardest part. After this, it should be pretty cake-like. Bottom 2 up and over, all the way around. And last row, last time around. And last white, loop up the bottom 2 over top of the others. Collect these all carefully onto your hook, going all the way around. If this is really hard for you to grab them, you can always use 2 hooks and then switch them over. We're going to take 2 purples and slide them through. I'm going to try to do this a little more slowly this time. We put a little tension on the end. We're going to slide them through just a couple at a time, just to be extra safe, extra sure this time. Sometimes it works when you do slide it through all at once, and sometimes this is smarter, and we'll see what comes out this time. Okay, good. You can see I have some loose pieces here. We will work with that a little bit later. First, let's set up our body. We have 2 skin colored pieces coming from the top center to the second center peg. 2 whites from the second center to the second right. 2 whites from the second center to the second left. And now on each of the rows, we're going to come down with 4 sets of double purple bands. When I say double, I mean just 2 here. We're not doubling them over this time, as we sometimes need to do. And the reason that I'm stopping at 4 sets is because we will presently add our belt piece. Three and 4. And we're going to have to remember to put a cap band on here afterwards, so we'll come back to that. But for now, we're going to take a single yellow or gold, and you can wrap it once or twice onto your 6th peg down on either side. I'm going to wrap mine twice. You can decide based on how loose your bands are or how tight you want your belt to look. And we're going to put it onto the 6th peg in the middle, wrap it again. Oops. I know some people like to wrap it on the hook and then transfer it. That's probably a really good method. I never got the hang of it myself, but you could certainly do it that way if that works for you. We're going to come down twice with double purple bands in the middle from there. And on either side, we need to take double bands, and we're just sticking this right on top of our gold piece. And we're coming down to the bottom of the limb. The same for the right side. We'll make our shoes. This is a technique I've got from Delicious Designs with Kate Schultz. I use this a lot. I think it's an excellent method. We're going to take 2 black bands, or any other color you'd like for your boots, wrap them twice onto the hook, hold them onto 2 bands, and we're going to take 2 more black bands. I'm holding this with my left hand, and I'm going to hold the hook with my left hand too. I'm taking with my right hand 2 black bands, and I'm going to wrap them twice over the top. The other side of this can now be replaced, and we slide these both onto, or these all onto 2 black bands, and place at the bottom of your loom bottom peg. And repeat, 2 black bands wrapped twice, pulled onto 2 black bands. Before we put that on, we grab the hook with our left hand, and with our right hand we wrap 2 more blacks 2 more times, put the end back, slide 2 black through, and you want to try to keep this in the same order. This goes on the bottom on the other side. We can put our arms on the second pegs down on either side. Second peg from the top left, and on the right. Push those down just a little bit because they're kind of thick and chunky, clinky there. We're going to take 2 purple bands and come from your 8th peg in the center up once diagonally. So this is where you put that last purple in the middle. And we repeat coming up to the left side. I'm trying not to overlap these because we'll need to dig them out in order. Push those down a little and put a purple cap band on that 8th middle, last one. Wrap it 3 times, or twice if you can't get it that tight. We are going to take a single band and stretch it from our side 7th peg to our side 7th peg, and up over the 7th in the middle. We're gonna skip the peg with the belt for the moment. And then we're gonna do 3 more holding triangles just above. And we can begin to loop our body. So we're gonna go in at the middle. You go underneath your cap band, find and hold that down if you need to. Find your 2 top bands and bring them up and over to the left side from whence they came. Go inside again and get your next 2 to bring over to the right and loop up 2 times. Stop just on top of your gold belt piece there. We'll loop up on either side all the way up to that gold band. So go under your boot, get your 2 purples and bring them up and loop straight. Two more times. Get your bottom 2, put those on top of your belt piece, and we'll come up the other leg as well. You can see my shoe's coming off, but I have the purple one so I can secure it on the next peg, and that's okay. Once you loop a section, most of the time it's okay if it's off the loom after that, as long as you've secured it with the bands above. Here's another case in point. For our belt pieces, and you've seen this in the Cape Schultz videos as well, what we do is we come under these top bands, we take the open part of our hook and we catch the gold or the belt piece and we bring it up and over that peg. Same in the middle, come under those top purples, all of the top purples, get your belt color pieces, bring it up and over, and on the far side we're going to do the very same thing one more time. That time I cut 2 of the loops, there's 3. Now we want to have a holding band here, and if you want you can double yours over, it's up to you. I'm going to take off the side piece right here, the one that's holding the belt, and I put on my band, put those side pieces, that side piece back, take off the middle section, put it over that middle piece, and replace this. This isn't my favorite part of the job, but it's almost done. One more. Put that holding band on and put these pieces back. I'm going to turn this around for a better angle. Okay, now we can loop up the center and stop at the second peg from the top. Loop up the side from that belt area, get underneath your holding bands. So push back the triangle bands, push back everything except for your bottom 2, and loop them until you reach the second peg from the top. We can go inside and reach out to the bottom whites, 2 whites, bring those to the center second peg, push it down a little bit, and loop up the rest of the way on the right side. Get your whites and bring them in center. And finally, we have 2 skin tone bands sitting underneath all of those neck pieces. And those are coming up and onto the top center peg. And you can take this off of your loom. Now get your hook into the skin tone bands and remove. Give everything a little tug adjustment and we can start on our head. To make the head, we're going to take black for the hair. Start with 2 bands coming from the top center to the top right, 2 bands from the top center to the top left. Come down on each of your rows 1 time with double bands. Left middle side. One more time double bands on the left, and one more time with double black bands on the right. And we're going to use skin tone in the middle and come down 2 times with double skin tone. From the second peg to the third peg, and from the third peg to the fourth peg. And we're going to close it up from either side with double bands. Third peg side to the fourth peg center. Third peg on the left side to the fourth peg in the center. We want doubled over single skin tone bands for our triangle caps. These go across all of your third pegs down and all of the second pegs. Another doubled over single. For your eyes, you can use bands or beads, it's up to you. I'm going to use beads this time, bands this time. I've gotten so used to the beads. We take a single, wrap it 3 times, You can do it one tighter if you'd like. Take another single, wrap it 3 times, and as I said, it's fine if you want to use beads instead. We take a single skin tone band and you're going to bring these over, but try to keep them a little bit separate. Stretch it from your second peg to your second peg. There. And if you feel your eyes are coming too close together, you can make a little space and bring the bands above and below the corresponding, like the next pegs in the middle. Okay, we can add our body, and you're going to take the skin tone pieces for the neck and put those onto the 4th centerpiece, right where everything else meets. I'm going to pull this down over one of these other pegs just so that you can see what's going on here. We are going to come inside and look for the top 2 bands and bring them over. So the top 2 bands come back to the side. Get your next 2 bands and bring them to the side, the other side. And loop up 3 times. Don't grab the band with the eyes on it. Okay, we loop straight there. Go inside on the side, get your black bands and bring them up and over. Repeat, and come into the center once. We'll do that on the right. Come up once, come up twice, bottom black bands only, and the last 2 come to the middle. And you're going to take a single black band and we'll secure this by turning the hook away, open part away, digging inside, grabbing that single with a little tension, pulling it through, put one end over the other, and you can create a slip knot by sliding one piece over. Hold on to this and take this off the loom. We'll do some finishing touches quickly. So first let's hide our securing band. This goes in the back. Decide which side you want to be the back. And we're going to put our hook under a band or 2. Grab your securing band, slide it under, and we can even put it under another piece if we want. We're just gonna hide it in here and then put it onto a C-clip. Now before I do anything to the other end, let's fix the arms. And I'll come at this from the front first. I have a loose band here, and you can do this for any loose bands on this project or in any project. You are going to grab that band, or grab a close by band, and pull your loose band through. Grab a close by band, take your loose band, pull it through. Now I have another loose band here at the back. I'm going to grab that and pull it through here. We'll come under a close by band, pull our loose one through, take another band, slide it through, and we just weave it in like this until we're happy with it, at which point it can go on a C-clip, or we can even weave it up to the C-clip that we have at the back, which is what I'm going to do here quickly. You do want to be careful about with this, that you don't pull anything too tight or grab a piece that's gonna make the head, you know, stick onto the side or anything. So here is one arm all neatened up, and I'll do it for the other arm. So the arms are straightened out, everything's in place. Now if you want his arms to sit closer, let's say you want him to have his hands on his hips, or have the shoulders sit right next to him, what you can do, this is totally optional, is put your hook through a couple of bands on the arm, through the body on the side, take a purple, slide it back through all of those, grab the other side, slip it around to the back, and create a C-clip. And that will help you to pose your figure if this is something that you like. I'm not going to do that, I just want to show you that as an option though. Now to make the sword, what I did was I took a paper clip and unrolled it so that there was just a little hook at the bottom, and I used a kind of crafting pliers. You put this through the hand, all the way to the bottom. You can pinch this bottom piece in, press it together. You can use your pliers for that too, or you can shape it in a different way if you'd like. We're going to take a gold or a yellow, put it on the top and wrap it tightly. I'm going to do it 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loops, and we carefully bring it down and pull it over both sides of that bottom paper clip wire here. Now you can use pliers, a nail clipper, wire cutter, and trim your sword to the desired length. And as I said, you can pose the arm if you want, or you can even stick the hook through the belt. I'm not going to do that, but you can get the idea there. You can even go through the middle. And there is your Prince Edward alongside with your Princess Giselle. Thank you for watching.